So, I have that. Yeah, I know, I have one. They're very hard to find. I got it for when we're pitching and stuff. And I always try to tell people about it. Like, what? Yeah, it's like a small credit card thing. Yeah, it's good quality, yeah.
So, how difficult is it to map a new season of the show, especially in a show where mythology is so important, when you are not sure whether you are going to be renewed or not?
Well, traditionally we always end the show with the end of a chapter. I mean, that was Jeff and I's creative choice.
And the season.
Excuse me, yeah, the season with an end of a chapter. So it's like something has ended and then something new is going to begin. So it really hasn't changed our tack at all. You know, we know where the show is going, and we've always known since season 1 where the show is going. So you know, we're not really concerned. We can only do what we do. No, we don't change the way that we want to tell stories for anybody.
It's, maybe to our detriment.
Maybe. But that's how it is.
It is what it is. You get what you get.
Yeah. But if this chapter ends it, this season.
Yes.
Do you feel it? I know you end each season.
The rest of your question, the answer is yes. No, honestly, it's like when we set out to start shaping this season, we started with the ending of the season to make a choice and we actually started a little bit earlier to make a choice creatively last season, like Peter disappears. We knew, as many of the critics pointed out, people who think about story, to make a choice like that was very much going to the value of the choice, the creative wisdom of the choice was very much going to be determined by how it was executed. So we knew that how he returned, what that meant, what the consequences of that were, how that changed the characters, how that changed the dynamics of the show. We knew that the end of this season was going to make people reconsider the entirety of the season and whether or not it was good. And so we pretty much started with the ending, and we're hopefully feeling very gratified knowing what the next upcoming episodes are, that it was a great choice and gave us a lot of creative juice for the season. And there were definitely times when the fans were either with or against us, and that's okay because we had to have the confidence of our storytelling. And we're excited to be here knowing what's coming up.
Knowing what's coming. We always find it funny that people say the love story, they need to be together, they need to that's what's important. And we're like, but love stories are supposed to be difficult. Love stories are supposed to be like I said before, but no great love story is worth telling unless there's many challenges and things to get through. Otherwise, you're watching a soap opera. It's melodramatic, But we know the fans are with us, and why'd you leave up here? It's like stuff like that. We get it. We know, and we're very attuned to what our fans like and love and want. And our goal, if anything, is to not let them down, because we love our fans, and we also love television. So we would never want to end 4 seasons as viewers and go like, wait, what? I want people to feel like, oh my gosh, that was a great ending, and I loved it, but I can understand where my characters that I've loved for so long are going in the future. I can imagine it, and it's okay. That's okay. I feel good, and that was kind of what our dream ending would be. So if it gets done this year, I'm okay. Like last year, Jeff made a really good point a while ago. He said, well, if we ended last year, it still would have been okay. He would have been like, Peter disappeared, what does that mean? Then we would have put out a comic book, to explain some of the things, which we will do.
But it would have satisfied the journey those characters went on. Peter had, that ending would have been, Peter had to sacrifice himself to save the world. And it would have been bittersweet.
Yeah, bittersweet. I mean, not what we would have hoped, but it would have at least went, okay, I saw when that happened. What a journey from the first time where these people got sucked in on an FBI case to this is a long way, long saga. So we just want to make sure that our fans are taken care of, because That's all we really care about.
But is there any grumblings from Fox? Do you have an idea that, do you sense that it's a possibility, or are you
grumblings of next
50-50?
season?
Yeah, I mean, do you feel?
I think we're 70-30 if the show's going to come back, and I think that's honest and sincere. And now that may also be a little bit of like we're inside of it and we're very hopeful, so it might be. Those odds might be skewed by our own like aspirations, but the feedback has been very positive.
I honestly, personally, I've been in this business for such a long time that I understand that you never know, and not to say that Jeff isn't right. There are reasons why he's saying that, but we never know. So I just happy-go-lucky go and do my job and see if it works great, because something can change in the last minute, and that's what's so precarious about the business. You just gotta show up.
Can you talk about the rest?
Sorry, last question.
Can you talk about anything else coming up in the last part of the season?
You get a question.
Okay.
I was wondering if you guys could speak to the stories you want to tell in the Beyond the Fringe comic that you've got coming out from DC.
Well, we were thinking. This is just our little thing amongst Jeff and I. Is that if things ended, what we would do is we would make a very special edition comic. That's a double issue. That's something that's very big, or maybe a triple issue. I don't know. To how much it would of our ideas and stories could get in there to do what we wanted to do, which for our fans is a big deal because they would buy it. Conceptually, I mean, not purchase-wise, they would buy it. They would actually come in. They love the idea. Yeah. So for this show, more than any other show, it's a possibility. Really.
But you might be talking about the comic, that's the stories that are already
right, exactly. The one that Josh is doing at DC.
We're thinking of doing a special edition.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. But as far as the other ones, yeah.
Those are stories that take place not in a parallel universe, but those are stories that are an alternate version of Fringe. Josh scripted one which is several parts and it's awesome, but it's sort of like it's the bizarro, not in that it's strange, but it's in a world that is in a mythology and a canon outside of the television show. It's just taking those characters, and we've been fortunate to create characters and have a context for them, the science fiction context, where you can repurpose them in many different ways. So these are sort of like, it's a version of, these are stories we would love to tell if we weren't beholden to the mythology of the television show. And that's what those are.
Right, cool.
And they're really fun.
And anything coming up for the rest of the season, interesting stories to talk about without getting too many spoilers?
Well,
what are we going to see happen?
Well, the next episode, A Short Story About Love, is very, I think, is a climax for certain ideas that we have been working on. And then I think that you can expect.
You can expect a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah,
it's like
things that you.
It's hard to. It's hard to say what any specific episode is without spoiling, but as has been pointed out earlier, the beginning of the season was very much like ramp up and set up for the episodes that are coming now, all of which are very tied into the season-long story we've been telling. But I think you'll have to tell us after they air, but I think that we're really excited about it.
You have to be super intelligent to watch this, to write this show, don't you?
Say what?
You have like all these PhD people working on your show. No, I watch this at some point. How do they do that?
Yeah, it's so funny because at first it's like science fiction, man. Like it's there's such big shoes to fill. Like Asimov, and you're like wow. But what we realized is that the best science fiction, the more science fiction it is, the more about human development it's about. The more about being human. It's like most science fiction tells you how it is to be a better human being. So that's all we do. So the PhDs, all the heavy blurbs in language and stuff, it's like everybody's got a dictionary on the internet. You all can do it, it's easy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.